Hello and welcome to the Art Market podcast. Hi, I'm here with ceramist David Roberts. Hello, David.
Hi.
For our listeners, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Well, I wasn't trained as a ceramist or potter. I was trained as a teacher, an art teacher. But during my sort of training to be an art teacher, I got involved with pottery as a subject to teach. And that, over a 10-year teaching career in secondary education, the making of pots became gradually more important to me. And after about 10 years teaching in secondary schools, 7 years of which were in the local Holmfirth High School where we still live, I left to take a part-time position teaching ceramics on a foundation course at what used to be called Batley School of Art. And so then I could devote more time to my ceramics. And in the mid-70s, while I was still secondary school teaching, I was introduced to Raku ceramics by a fellow local potter, Jim Roberson, who had just arrived from America, where Raku was a big kind of art sort of process during the 60s and 70s. And he showed me pictures of his own Raku work and Raku work by famous American ceramists. And this really impressed me, the cool, clean, colourful sort of controlled surfaces, very interesting sort of forms, totally different to the little bit of experience I've had at Raku previous to that. So I thought I'd give this a go. I thought I'd try this, it looks interesting. And I've been involved with it ever since. The surfaces and the processes suited my forms, my work, and also the process suited my sort of personality. Raku, it's so quick, the process, that a lot of intuition and judgment is involved, as well as measuring sort of temperatures and things, and I'm comfortable with that kind of way of working. So from there, I've continued to do Raku, and it's just sort of evolved organically over 30 years now, from the mid-70s until the present day, gradually developing a reputation in the UK and then abroad, and that's about it.
Can you explain the process of what you do?
I'll explain the firing process, the Raku process, initially. Raku firing, or Raku pottery, it's a funny word, and it's a Japanese word, and it's really incorrect the way it's used. The name Raku was a name given to a family of Korean potters that were making ceramics in the late 16th century in Japan for the court of the military leader called the shogun. And the ceramics were to be involved with the tea ceremony, little tea bowls, and vessels for carrying water. And they were heavily influenced by Zen Buddhism and the sort of very austere sort of philosophy of the sort of samurai class. So these were very restrained, simple, small-scale bowl forms. And the distinguishing technical feature of them, the process, involved a very quick firing to a relatively low temperature, around about 1,000 degrees centigrade. And at the end of this firing process, the pot was drawn from the kiln hot. Normally you'd leave a pot in the kiln to go cool naturally. It's drawn from the kiln hot and then quenched in water to freeze any sort of smoke effects on the surface of the clay. Now that, in the 20th century, that process was developed initially in America by potters getting interested in the Japanese process, but firing the piece quickly again, drawing it from the kiln, the same as the Japanese process, but then, rather than just quenching the work, actually putting the work into some sort of combustible like sawdust or straw in a container, which created smoke. And this smoke developed much more different sort of surface, a much greater range of surface than the Japanese process. So really, it's a kind of, what we call Raku in the West is really a kind of misnomer. It's not really Raku proper. It's a form of earthenware, smoked earthenware firing. And I'm involved with that. So my work is fired to a low temperature, even lower than the Japanese stuff. Mine goes to about 850 degrees centigrade. Drawn from the kiln, put into big metal containers with sawdust, and then the container is sealed with a lid, and the fire turns to smoke because it's starved of oxygen. And this smoke stains and colours the surface of the pots. And it's a very simple process, but using this simple process carefully and judiciously, you can get a big range of tones and colours on the clay. So that's Raku.
You're doing the art markets on the 7th of November. What do you like most about doing the art markets?
Well, I think it's an opportunity to show my work locally, which I don't get many opportunities of doing that. My work tends to go abroad or down to London or Edinburgh, places like that. So it's good to sort of get a little sort of local profile with your work. I also like the fact it's run by young people, young energetic people, and that's good. And I think it's the quality's very high quality, and it's an improving quality. And so I like to sort of support it and get involved in that way. And we've done it since it started, in fact, and it's grown and developed, and I think it's excellent idea.
Have you got any exciting news, shows, exhibitions coming out?
We've got lots. Over the next 2 years, it's going to be very busy. We start out after the art market, that is next Easter, with a show in Brussels, which involves me and one or two younger English or British ceramists, I should say, who I've recommended to show along with me. And this is in a big converted industrial space in the centre of Brussels, normally associated with fine art, but this show's going to be ceramics. And then we plan to do at least 2 shows in Italy, in Tuscany, because I have a small studio out there and have contacts and things. And they'll be in a local sort of castle and in the Palazzo Ducale in Massa. So we're looking forward to that. And then next November, I've got a show at Lemon Street Gallery in Cornwall, Truro. And then following March, got a show in Bath in Beaux Arts, a well-known sort of ceramic and fine art gallery in the centre of Bath. And then following on that, the following summer, I've got a show beginning in Paris, which then will probably tour to Salzburg and Milano. And also one thing that's happening at the moment, I've got work in a touring exhibition, which at the moment is in Paris, but will go to Gdansk and then to America next year. And this is involved with a society of international ceramicists organised by people in Italy, called Ceramicist. And it's a group of artists who are developing their own sort of processes in a creative way. So you've got a wide range of ages and styles and aesthetics, but all involved in ceramics. And it's quite an exciting kind of project.
Where can we buy your work?
Well, you can buy direct from me. We sell direct to collectors. We usually once a year have an open studio, which is advertised locally, and we email people direct. I also sell work through the Craft Potters shop in London. Actually, it's called the Contemporary Ceramics Gallery, and it's just opened a new shop in Great Russell Street, just opposite the main gates to the British Museum. That's in West London. And I also sell via the Scottish Gallery in Edinburgh. And then there's one-off sort of exhibitions, like the sort of exhibitions I was talking about, the travelling shows and so on, the shows down in the southwest of England. I also have a book for sale. It's written by Lynn Green, which people can contact me directly via the website for details of how to get that book if they want.
What's the website? The
website is www.davidroberts-ceramics.com. All information about shows, workshops, book sales, all that kind of thing, if you contact us via that website.